Dear all, hello. I am in Tricastela, a tiny little village after the mountains of Leon, where I'm having my break day, my zero day, to recover and to relax. Uh, well, if you saw my video yesterday, you certainly noticed that I was extremely tired after two very strenuous and heavy days of walking. So it was time to listen to the signals of the body and to have a break. And that's what I'm doing here. I am in a hostel. I have a room with a bathroom on my own. I'm not in an albergue. And I'm recovering. So Tricastela is the perfect place for such a zero day, because there's absolutely nothing you can visit. There's sightseeing is impossible. There's just a church and two kind of buildings that are in the tourist guidebook, which may be worth visiting, but not necessarily. One of these two buildings is a well where the women or the people of that village used to wash their clothes. And I was stupid enough to walk there with my dirty wash, because I had looked at the city map and saw the Spanish word for public laundry, and I thought there was one of these laundry shops where you can use washing machines. But when I arrived there, I noticed that it was an ancient laundry, an ancient public laundry. And it was without water. If there had been water, I would have washed my clothes in cold water with my hands, but so I had learned a lesson and went back and did my washing here in the sink. And the other building is a tower-like short building, a short tower. And if you don't know what it is, and if you don't have an idea, you cannot guess what it is. It is a tower for doves, for pigeons, where people used to keep pigeons. You can see the pigeonholes in that tower, which is made of solid stone, made for eternity. It is empty, there aren't any pigeons anymore. And that's the second thing worth visiting, according to the tourist guide. And of course the church, but it is not a very famous or special church. You can go there if you would like to say a prayer or for a silent moment. So you're not tempted to walk a lot. You're not tempted to go on long sightseeing tours, and that's quite fine. However, as I'm not on trail today, I thought I would make a video about some gear items that I have in my backpack, and tell you something about the experiences I've made. And I would like to begin with my sleeping bag. Comparatively big, but not heavy, because it is a down bag, which keeps you very, very warm. It is constructed and designed for -7 degrees Celsius, which is actually, in summer it is too warm. That's more. That's a sleeping bag you use in spring and autumn. It weighs 1,050 grams. That's not too heavy, and this really has saved me a couple of times at the beginning of my pilgrimage when I was in those hostels that were not heated and that were cold, simply cold. That's no other word is correct. Yeah, unheated cold hostels. You may have seen the video in which I'm the only one, and a female police officer came to turn on and switch off the heating. In that night, I was very, very glad that I had brought a decent sleeping bag. And there are 2 or 3 other nights I remember where the albergs were chilly and cold, and I was happy and snug in my bag. Now the temperatures are warmer. We have April, we are in Spain. During the day we have more than 20 degrees Celsius. This sleeping bag is getting too warm, but if you fully sleep in it, if you go in then, if you close the zip, it would be too warm. So I use it as a blanket. I open the zip completely, use it as a blanket, and then it is fine. If you walk the Camino in a warm season, in April, May, or even in summer, September, you will probably want a thinner sleeping bag, which is also lighter than either. Here you can save a little bit of weight when you walk in summer. So, having mentioned sleep, let me go on to 2 items you probably know. You should not forget your earplugs, especially when you sleep in albergs every night. It's just too loud. During the season there are 10, 20, 30 people maybe in one room, and they talk, they snore, they need to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. So there's always something going on. You do not want to hear, and you do not want to see. And here, therefore, this is my sleeping mask. In some rooms there are LEDs of the air conditioning or of other electronic devices. Somebody is charging his cell phone, and there's an LED on. If you really want to have it absolutely dark, you need a sleeping mask. In cold weather, it also warms your forehead and your eyes and your nose. So let's go on. One thing some pilgrims envied me for is this little thing, and people who keep dogs know what it is. I hope my dogs do not miss their bowl. It is a transportable, foldable bowl. I got in a pet shop. It's when you walk your dog or when you hike with your dog, you need a bowl to give water to your dog or to your dogs. You can fill it with hot water too. It can stand hot water. It is not heavy. You can hang it up somewhere at your backpack, and especially if you are a cereal eater like me, you can quickly prepare yourself a meal. You just need hot water or hot milk. I usually use hot water and milk powdered milk. It's not too big. If you are still hungry after eating that bowl of cereal, you eat a second one. So, very useful item. Another useful item, a block and something to write. So, in this block, I write down all the addresses that I would like to reach, the telephone numbers of the albergs or hostels, especially when you have already booked. Write it down. If your telephone dies, yeah, or if you lose your cell phone, and you are walking towards a big town where there are 100 albergues or hostels and hotels, you maybe not even know where you have booked. Yeah. So write down the addresses and the phone numbers so that you can reach the place or contact the place even if your cell phone is dead. So then I have this useful little gadget, which is a power bank. Do I need a power bank? Well, if you film or if you even navigate with your cell phone, you certainly need one. If you film a lot, and especially if you navigate, I mean, navigation eats the battery of your cell phone. If you only take pictures or short videos, you don't really need one. You can charge your cell phone always every day in the albergue. However, some albergues are older than the more modern ones, yeah, that's quite logic, and the older ones do not have sockets at every bed. The modern ones do. Yeah, I have slept in quite a many albergue where I had my own socket right next to the bed. But if there's only one socket for 12 or 20 pilgrims, that might be a problem. Of course, you always find an arrangement. But in one hostel, the socket was just above the floor, also not high on the wall. It was very, very low, and your smartphone lies on the floor, and people might step on it or things like that. So when I was in such places, I was too lazy to take part in the competition, to take part in the run for the only socket in the room, and I would charge my cell phone and my action cam with that power bank. It's quite a big one. It has 10,000 milliampere. I'd say it's good to have one, but it's not necessary to have such a big and heavy one. It weighs 185 grams. A smaller and lighter model would do as well, yeah, with which you can recharge your cell phone once. Yeah, that's enough. Of course, if you film a lot, yeah, you need it. Okay, electricity. So the next useful little thing, yeah, this pad you sit on. Although the weather has become quite warm, we have temperatures of about 20 degrees Celsius in the afternoon. The nights are still very cold. If you have an early start, maybe at 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and you have your first break at 9 or 10, you would like to sit down on a bench made of stone or on a stone. These things are still cold, and if you would like to have a warm seat, you need this pad. It's not very heavy. It's in the pocket. It's not inside my backpack. It's in the side pocket, and I would always bring it again. So last but not least, my shoes. I use the Adidas Terex. They are quite heavy. They're very ultralight. They're lighter than boots made of leather, but I think they weigh 800 grams, but I'm not certain. But you have ankle support, and a very thick sole, And yeah, I really appreciate them I treasure them in, no, treasure is not the right word, I really like them, I need them when the ways are full of rocks, stone, pebbles, mud. During the last 2 days I was on such a mountain road. You cannot even say path. It was terrible. So with trail runners, well, of course you always manage somehow to get up to the summit, but I was glad that I did not wear my trail runners that are too light. Especially when you walk downhill, your foot needs some stability so that it does not slide forward too much in your boot. On even ground, on wide, on easy, on easy roads, and even on paved streets. Sorry, I carry my ultra all weather in the backpack. I can quickly change my shoes. They are very light. They are ultra light. I think less than 300 grams one shoe. They have a solid sole, not as solid as the Terex, but they're solid. And this shoe is absolutely flat. The sole is flat, and it doesn't go up at the end of the shoe. So your body has a completely different contact to the ground. You always stretch your calves much more than with the Adidas Terex, and especially when you are a little bit older, like me. I'm over 60 now, and your skeleton, your hips, your knees are not in the best condition anymore. We are not 20. It is a good thing to change the soles, to change your boots once or twice a day, and the pressure goes then to different parts of your body. So I've made very good experiences with carrying 2 pairs of shoes. However, that's true, you must carry the extra weight. So that's all for today. I don't want to keep that video too long. Of course I could tell you more about the rest of my gear. In Leon I sent back all my winter clothes, gloves, etc., and made my pack 1.5 kilo lighter. But that's all for today. Tomorrow I'm back on trail, back on the Camino, and thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.